Southern Maryland Sports Journal. I'm your host, Travis Thomas. We're here in Richmond, Virginia at Redskins training camp. I'm joined here by WUSA Channel 9 Dave Owens.
What's going on, brother?
Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, it's always good to be here, man. And Redskins training camp, what more could you ask for?
Now, of course, the story everyone's talking about, RG3's health.
Right. You talk about it. 6.5 months. It's quick. ACL injury. No one has ever done this before. You talk about guys from years past. Adrian Peterson, he came back in 7. The running back from Kansas City, he came back in 8. So 6.5 months, it's fast. And you can't help but wonder, is it too fast? Redskins Nation, they're going to find out. Now, they're going to get him back into things in a slow fashion, but boy, 6.5 months, man, it's awfully fast.
Well, the way modern medicine is nowadays, I mean, you look at a guy like you mentioned, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
He comes back last year fast,
right,
and has a career year. Hopefully the same thing can happen with RG3.
Well, but the thing that you have to be careful about with that, Trav, is this. Not everybody heals in the same fashion. So that's what Redskins Nation has to be careful about, assuming because Adrian Peterson did it, now RG3 can do it. Now, as you say, they're going to ease him back into things. We're going to see him in 7-on-7, not in 11-on-11. But again, 6.5 months. It's awfully fast, and you can only help but wonder. Dr. James Andrews said this guy was a freak of nature, a medical marvel. Did he almost convince himself that he was, healthier than he actually is? I know that's a big statement, but for cynical Redskin fan, you sometimes have to feel that way. Only time will tell.
Let me ask you this. Long term, does the injury help RG3's development? Because now, with the mobility being questionable, he has to stand back in that pocket and read the defense.
Well, I don't know if the injury necessarily helps his development. I think RG3's got to help his development. Injured or not, he's got to learn how to get down. I don't think anybody is out there saying, don't be who you are. The guy's got world-class speed. We know that he can dance out of the pocket and stretch the plays like other quarterbacks can't. No one's asking him not to do that. But I think that when he gets out into the open field, he's got to learn how to get down. It's hard for guys who have been so athletically gifted more than anyone else they're playing with. Michael Vick had to learn this. He's a fast guy who could outrun everybody. Well, you're in the NFL now. Some of those angles you're not going to be able to beat. I think RG3's got to learn that and get down so he doesn't get hurt. There's no doubt his ability to scoot is going to help this football team at some point this year. But he's got to learn how to get down and not take those big, massive blows that he took a year ago.
Dave, what about Alfred Morris? It seems like he's the forgotten piece on this Redskins team, and you look at his numbers last year, a case could be made. He could have been Rookie of the Year, right? Where does he fit into the Redskins' success?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, anytime you can run the football, and all you got to do is look right across the division at the Dallas Cowboys, we're always saying, how come they don't run the football enough? Alfred Morris is a key cog to this whole engine because you got to have a guy back there who is a threat. Now, if you're being realistic, he's not going to run for 1,600 yards again. That just doesn't happen. The odds say 11, 12, maybe. But obviously, he's a key cog because he doesn't go down on first contact. When the run is designed for 5 yards, he gets 6. When it's designed for 6, he gets 9. So I think having a guy back there who can take the punishment and late in games, like we saw when the Redskins clinched the division last year, over 2 Bills rushing, a guy who can really be that guy in the fourth quarter, that's critical. You got to have a guy like that.
Now, you mentioned the NFC East. Let's talk about it. Are the Redskins still the team to beat in the division?
I'm surrounded by Redskins fans, so I think you set me up. I don't think so. I'm going to be real with you.
All right, nice interview.
I think it's from an unbiased perspective. I think you have to look at the Giants for 2 reasons. One, coach and quarterback. They've got the healthiest quarterback who has been experienced, and Tom Coughlin is a guy who has done this before. The Giants come into this season, and when you look at them, you just have to say, they lost some people. They lost Osi Umenyiora to Atlanta, but that defense is still pretty good. Tuck is still there. Jason Pierre-Paul had off-season surgery, but he's going to be back. Victor Cruz is back. The Giants just seem to find a way to be in the mix. I think they're the class of the NFC East. And NFC East, by the way, that's going through a state of flux right now. Who are the Eagles? Who are the Cowboys? Who are the Redskins? We don't really know yet. So I got to give the nod to the Giants right now.
And plus, the Giants go this every other season pattern, right? They win the Super Bowl, they miss the playoffs, and then they're like that.
Well, and I think if you look at them last year, too, a lot of turnovers. And we know Eli can do this. He'll go through some stretches where he turns the football over. But he's pretty doggone solid. And I just like the way their football team is put together right now. If you just look at who they are, I think they're the class of the NFC East right now.
Okay, you got the Giants winning the division. Redskins a wild card team?
No, I don't think so. I think the Redskins played over their heads last year. I do. I think they were a 7-9 football team that won 3 extra games because of this dynamic quarterback. And I think when you look at teams, I'm one of those guys, Travis, that I look at the long term. And look at the Bucks a couple of years ago. They went 10-6. They were a team no one thought would go 10-6. The next year they go 4-12. Now, I'm not saying the Redskins go 4-12, but in 32 games, the Bucks were 14-18. So that's 7. They were who we thought they were, to use Denny Green's old phrase. I'm not saying the Redskins go 4-12, but I think they're an 8-8-ish football team that played 2 games over their heads last year. I think they come back down to earth. I think that's where they're going to be, and I think the NFC is one of the the toughest conference. I don't think the Redskins make the playoffs.
From Richmond, Virginia, Redskins training camp, I'm Travis Thomas. I'm going to try to get out of here live.
Yeah, right.
Thanks to Dave Owens.
Oh, man.
From WUSA Channel 9.
Always a pleasure, man.
Appreciate it. You've been watching Southern Maryland Sports Journal.